Hey guys, it's Matthew here. I just want to say spoiler warning. Lily, say spoiler warning. She said
Spoiler warning.
spoiler warning because we did spoil. Thanks. Hello guys, Matthew here. I have Lily here today with me. We're here to discuss Cyrano. Lily is a Cyrano mega fan, so she
Not a
has
mega fan.
a mega fan. So she has
No.
a lot more to say about Cyrano than I do, certainly. So this is the movie adaptation of
Yeah.
a
So
play.
it's originally a play. Sorry, cutting you off.
No? Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's
Get
originally a
into
play, and we read the play in high school. Loved it. I was obsessed with it, like, for the remainder of the school year,
Megafan.
and probably time after that. Pardon?
Megafan.
No, no, no. And so it's directed by Joe Wright, who also directed Pride and Prejudice, which is also a great film. You should go watch it. But I think the importance of Cyrano is that it created the love triangle. So a lot of films have adapted that into
It
what they
created the
do.
love
They,
triangle?
yeah, essentially.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And so, not a popular one, semi-popular, recent is the word I'm looking for. Is Sierra Burgess is a loser, and it is essentially the same thing. So a girl, she said that she's fat and no one likes her, XYZ. And that, so she has a bully. The bully um, gets her number from like a tutor sign and gives it to this handsome guy. And then the handsome guy checks the number thinking it's the girl that gave it to him. And basically she pretends to be the girl. She pretends that her name's Veronica, the girl that gave her the number, and Sierra is the one that's insecure and all of that. And she pretends to be Veronica, so she's doing all the writing and pretending to be this person catfishing. And then she ends up being friends with Veronica, and she gets Veronica to like lip sync. Like Sierra's talking, Veronica will be the one in front of the camera talking to the guy, and yeah, and it just turned into this big mess, and they kind of messed it up. um, but yeah, I think the idea behind Cyrano has turned a little bit into catfishing. It is catfishing now, and it's not as romantic as it seems. But I still love it, and I still think it's great for the time period it was in. So yeah.
So, the original play that I've been told, there's a major difference. It's about his nose. He's Pinocchio.
Yes,
Now it's about him
it's
being
not
short.
Pinocchio.
Now it's about him being short. Uh,
Yeah,
Apparently, this is
played
a
by Peter
much bigger
Dinklage.
deal in the original. So, talk about that. The
Yeah.
difference.
So in the original, it's about his nose, and that he's made fun of all the time for it. But he's really smart and like just well spoken. So there's a scene in the opening scene where he talks about someone says your nose is very big, and then he's like very. That's all you got, and then like proceeds to tell him you could have called me all these other names, and you used very big. Like what's up, bro? Like use your brain.
The
So
movie
yeah.
does a very similar thing in the opening scene of this, where Cyrano invades a play, and he's like, his play sucks, it's not worth your time, leave. And then the guy wants to fight him, and they duel, and he
Mm-hmm.
wins. And the guy used insults, and Cyrano made fun of his basic insults. So, I really
No,
like
yeah.
the opening scene.
No, yeah. The opening scene's really great.
Yeah.
And also what this does is it takes away like all the monologues and stuff like that from the play and like makes it musical numbers. And I think they did a really good job with that. There's one song in particular that really stuck with my heart. And it's when they're at war and they're like writing their last letters to like their wives and stuff, or even their family. And it's just really sad.
Would you say the song made you tear up?
Yes, it did.
Yes. Yes. Alright, but you can lead the way. You can lead the way. Cyrano mega fan.
Okay. And then they went to war. So then everything happens. Okay. Well, we haven't even talked about what it's
No,
about.
we haven't talked about the plot. You went into a really long tangent about
I'm
another
sorry.
movie.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Talk about the
Just
plot.
don't post this one.
No, we're
Okay,
posting
so
this one.
the plot is Cyrano in the original big nose, in this he's short. So he's in love with this girl. Her name's
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Roxanne is the light of his life, the most beautiful girl he's ever seen. So they talk. They're friends. They're buddies. But
Childhood
they
friends.
don't. Yeah. But he doesn't. She doesn't know he loves her. Her. And so then Christian comes along. So Roxanne is in her carriage. All of a sudden, she sees Christian, this man walking along the street. Love at first sight. So then she calls and she's like, essentially, she figures out who Christian is. She gets his name, and then she figures out he's gonna be, I don't know what to call. I think a soldier. And so then he tells Cyrano, who's like the head, like, take care of Christian, make sure he doesn't get hurt, and da da da. And so now Cyrano knows Roxanne loves Christian, and so then
But Cyrano loves Roxanne. He
yeah,
thought Roxanne was coming to say, "I've realized I love you," and so that was pretty sad.
that was really sad. And so then, you know, he is like, they're about to fight because Christian's coming at him crazy, but then he's like, I'm Christian, and he's like, hug me. So then they hug, and he's like, Roxanne likes you, bro. And then he's like, I got you. I'm gonna write the letters. It's gonna be easy peasy for me.
Yeah,
And you just
Christian
pretend.
sucks with words,
Yeah,
and he would make Roxanne not like him.
yeah, yeah. And he loves her too. He was love at first sight too. So then, yeah, this continues and continues and continues. Then finally, Christian thinks he's got this in the bag and says, I'm going to meet Roxanne. I don't need to practice your words. I don't need to do any of that.
Yeah, he got
So
a little
then
cocky for no reason
he did.
when
So
he's
he
not even
goes,
writing letters.
exactly. And he goes to meet Roxanne, and Roxanne's like, talk to me. And he's like, you're beautiful. You're so, so beautiful. You're like a flower. And she's like, I'm not your flower. And runs away. And she's just appalled by this. And she's like, why aren't you talking like you do in your letters? And then, yeah. And then he comes to apologize. But little does she know, Cyrano is also there. And he's actually doing the talking while Christian just stands from her like underneath her balcony and takes all the credit. So then they're on good terms, they get married, and then long story short, Christian realizes Cyrano's in love with Roxanne and is like, we lied to her, we hurt her, we have to tell her. It's not right. And then he ends up dying. He like runs into the field at war. And then Cyrano ends up not telling Roxanne until his dying day. And then she's like, I always loved you too. I love you too. And yeah.
And then he dies.
Then he dies.
We probably should have put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this video.
Yeah. That's the whole story.
I'll go back and edit. I mean, we forgot.
I'm turning red.
No, we forgot her her like husband general character. You didn't mention
Degish?
him. Yeah, Degish.
Yeah. So Degish is like the chief of everybody, and so he's actually the one that ends up sending Cyrano and Christian to war, and he wants to marry Roxanne. So he doesn't like any of this happening. He's like, no, 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 no. So he walks in on Christian and Roxanne getting married, and he's like, bro, what the heck? And he's like, y'all want to do this? Go to war, buddy. And then he's like, good luck. Like, having a man at war and have him come back, because he's not. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's an asshole. Sorry, but
yeah,
not a nice guy.
Yeah. Christian was ended up being a nice character though, with the whole he realized that Cyrano has been writing letters to Roxanne every day, and then he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You have to tell her it was you." Uh,
Yeah.
this happens before he dies, and yeah, he ended up being a good character. Give your
Yeah.
general thoughts on the every character, really.
So besides Peter Dinklage, I didn't really know any of the other like actors, but I think Haley Bennett is her name, is Roxanne. I think she did a good job. I liked her as that character, and I mean, yeah. And then Christian also great, liked him too. And for all the musical part of it that they had to sing, I think they did really well. And then Dagish, I mean, he was just a jerk. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a character that's just there to be annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like those characters. I also I let this known with West Side Story. I don't really like the whole love at first sight thing.
Mm,
I think this movie did it better than other movies. Still not very good, but
no,
at least like
they're writing each other.
yes, at least you're talking to each other and having actual
Yeah.
or they think they're having actual conversations. Uh,
No, yeah.
and yeah, there's another thing in the play. Talk about like the symbolism behind everything and like the meaning behind like well, what's the story supposed to say?
So overall, I mean, Cyrano never confessed his love in the beginning portion of the movie to Roxanne because of how he felt inferior to her, of his height and like the difference between him and like other men, and just felt undeserving of that. And I think it really just speaks that like when you feel like you have something wrong with you, like you feel like inferior, but like we all feel that way. We all feel like we have some type of flaw with us that makes us undeserving of something sometimes. And yeah, I think that's one of the main points. But yeah,
Is to accept your flaws and give yourself a chance to be happy.
yeah.
So another one thing that wasn't in the movie that you're very passionate about that I would like you to talk about
No, I'm not gonna talk
is
about it.
the
The
feather
feather
on the
in the hat.
cap. Talk
Yeah.
about the feather on the cap. It's a big thing in the play.
It wasn't a necessarily a big thing. I made it a big thing in my
You
heart
told me it was a massive thing in the play.
because it matters to me in my heart. So in the play, like he never takes it off, and he always has his feather, and yada yada yada. And it's like I forgot the word for it, but it's like symbolism for something. It's for his like what's the word?
Honor.
Honor, yeah. And in the play, like when he dies on his own sword, and so
Yeah, we gotta talk
it
about how this has like three different endings.
yeah. So like there's an ending where he dies on his own sword, and then the ending where he dies by like ambush, and then the ending where he just dies in this movie. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any more thoughts? Anything you'd like to say?
No.
So, how well do you think this adapted the play?
I
Do
think
you,
it did it really well. I mean the main point is the fact that essentially Cyrano has this major flaw about or difference about him that he feels insecure about and not able to pursue Roxanne. So then he starts, but he has this like specialty for words and is just able to convey himself very well. And that all the main points are there. It gets the point across. You would understand, like you could
yeah.
understand what the original play is about. Simple. So
I feel like height works better than Pinocchio knows.
I guess, yeah.
So, final thoughts?
Uh, I really enjoyed it. I loved the play in high school. Loved it even more as a movie. And um, yeah, think it was great. There was a lot of bad reviews. I'm not gonna lie. I did see a lot of bad reviews. That it
What
was
were the
just
bad
ass.
reviews?
That they just didn't like the music and it sounded like a knockoff Les Mis. And yeah,
I
I
might
know
have
your
been,
opinion.
I might have been
Yeah.
forced to watch Les Mis.
And
This movie's a
yeah,
lot
but I
better
was
than
like,
that movie. I'll tell you that.
but
Sorry,
yeah,
reviews.
and I think it's for what it is and what the original play is. It was great, and I just love Cyrano de Bergerac. So
Would you rate it?
I'm just I'm a high rater. I can't help it, but 9.8.
9.8?
Yeah.
Oh, why the minus point 0.2? What
Just so I
prevents
don't
it?
give it 10 out of 10. Because
Well,
I
just
feel
give
like
it
that's
a 9
overplaying.
then.
No.
We'll
Because
give
it's
it a
basically
9.5. What is the point 8?
a 10, but like I'm not saying 10, so.
It's perfect, but not perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. 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 Well, yeah. I thought the movie was good. I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Uh, I didn't because I had got it pretty hyped up for me. So
Just a little.
I think it's a good thing that it exceeded my expectations. So yeah, good movie. I'd say go watch it. Yeah. Any more thoughts? Are we done?
That was it.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Goodbye.
Mhm. Bye.